Well, well, well. So once again, the Dallas Cowboys are having a quiet and boring offseason, and so the news out there is falling in between. But nevertheless, there are people, they are still talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and for good reason. And one of the reasons is because the Dallas Cowboys seems to be one of the most improved teams of the year. And everybody seems to agree upon that the Dallas Cowboys offense is going to be absolutely good. The issue is that everybody's also asking can the Dallas Cowboys defense be average? And so today, for a little while on this live stream, we're going to look at the Dallas Cowboys defense and talk about ways and look at an article on can the Cowboys defense be average under Christian Parker? We're going to talk about all that and more next on Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's go. Wednesday afternoon. It is time to talk Dallas Cowboys. And I believe I have put together, at least from what I can tell, the greatest and latest stories on the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go. Let's get it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great content coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Today, we will be listening to Good Morning Football and Jane Slater talk about the Cowboys offense. Then, there is an article about how the Dallas Cowboys can improve their defense and can they get this defense to being average. Then, I saw a great article over on DallasCowboysIBelieve.com talking about the cornerback with the most to prove. And I'm pretty sure y'all can already guess who is the cornerback with the most to prove. Then, we're going to talk about Rashawn Gary, or just kind of listen to an interview of Rashawn Gary and then talk somewhat about Rashawn Gary. Then, we're going to flip back to the offense because there are two players that are going to be pivotal to this offense being unstoppable. And I'm pretty sure you can see on the screen Tyler Guyton, Terrence Steele. And what I want to show you is they are putting in the work. Then, I want to let you see, we're going to listen to Mike Florio talk about the latest development on Marshawn Kneeland and CTE. I have some things to say about this thing with Marshawn Kneeland and CTE. So, that's going to be the show today. Cowboys offense, average defense, cornerback with the most to prove, Rashawn Gary, Guyton and Steele, Kneeland, CTE. We might even sneak a couple of more things in there. Next on Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. It's Wednesday. Roll call gonna be short. Let's go. Let's get a quick roll call. It's Wednesday. I gotta be out here at least by 5:40. We got to at least get about an hour and 10 to 20 minutes talking about the Cowboys. Ron Mack in the building. What is going on, Ron Mack? Jay Pay the Goog, what up with you? Real estate vet, what's crack-a-lacking? Oh yeah, it's hot over here, man. Let me tell you something, it's hot, bro. I had to let the dog out early. I said, man, I couldn't let that dog be out there longer than 2 minutes. Hot, man. Frank Lawrence, my man, what up? What up, Ruffin 8385? Good to see you. Reading Zanguini, what's going on? Lord Nova, Bass in the building. Blaine, Big Boss Dog, what up? Freddie Morales, El Chuco in the building. Booby D, what up? Striving to perfection, what's going on, my brother? Jabril Quinn, what's going on? Andre Johnson, Gregory Hicks, 5 points of the star. It is the queen. What is going on, queen? Durham Mason. Blaine 1030, 72 Chevelle pulled up to the congregation. My sister Nisi, what is going on? Good to see you. JCT Slice, what is going on? What's going on, Eric? Oh, Head Young. Bull Stewart, what's up? Carl Williams, what's going on? Hail Mary in the building. Ryexon fan, what's up, Ryexon fan? Lonnie Cabal, what's going on? Gwen Bowden. There will be blood. What up? Bernard Fields. Ruby is sweet back in the building. What up, Ruby? Azteca, what's going on? Good to see everybody. Brandon Cup, Gregory Davis. Let's get this show started. Appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Y'all already know it's Wednesday. I got to go teach Bible. Somebody got to do it. It might as well be me. But nevertheless, I want to come talk to the Cowboys congregation. Let's get this thing rolling. What's going on? What's going on, Hondo Demery? I think it's Hondo Demery. Hondo, what's going on? What's going on, Lewis? What's up, Justin Harris in the building? All right. What up, Blakey? So let's talk about this Cowboys offense. They were talking about this Cowboys offense on, I believe it was Good Morning Football, and they had Seth Rollins in the building. I don't know if y'all are big-time wrestling fans, but Seth Rollins was in the building, and obviously he's a Dallas Cowboys fan, and he was up in there talking about the Dallas Cowboys, of course, as well as Jane Slater. Nisi, I'm telling you, I was talking about trying to get Jane Slater on the show. She over there on the NFL Network, Good Morning Football, and all that. I don't know if I can get Jane Slater. I don't know if I can get Jane Slater. I don't know if Jane gonna do that out of the goodness of her heart. What's going on, Randy Cadell? But we about to listen to this story over here on Good Morning Football, and man, they were talking big time about the Dallas Cowboys offense, which in the grand scheme of things, when you think about it, it just makes sense. You know, the Dallas Cowboys offense is actually the strength of the football team. It is actually the strength of the football team. There's no denying it. I mean, we can't really get around it because the team is, you know, you got a quarterback in Dak Prescott, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got George Pickens. I mean, you just got a lot going on as far as the Dallas Cowboys go. There we go. I was looking for a setting there. As far as the Dallas Cowboys go. So, you know, it is what it is. We know the Cowboys offense, it's going to be high-powered. Well, this was them over on Good Morning Football. And they were talking about this Dallas Cowboys offense. I mean, tell us something that we don't know. This is them talking about the Dallas Cowboys offense.
Shall we? A direct flight to check in on the Cowboys. And with that, a new season brings new hope, at least if you are a Cowboys fan. And from the state of Texas, we are joined now, of course, by Jane Slater, who is truly, as we were joking before the show, she is going to carry us the first couple minutes here and make sure we have the Cowboys understood up and down, front and back.
What up, Gabe?
As we continue to look ahead to 2026. Jane, good morning to you. First of all, great to see you.
Great to see you guys. I mean, Dallas isn't exactly Italy. We have beautiful Lake Louisville that Isaiah knows well, and Lake Ray Hubbard, but glad you guys are enjoying some of your vacations too.
Right. Jane, the Cowboys are looking to get back to the postseason, as they always do after a 2-year absence. What has become the biggest headline into training camp as Brian Schottenheimer once again enters this year as his head coach of this team?
Yeah, Jamie, this is going to be the 11th year we cover the Dallas Cowboys for the NFL Network, and I can't think of a training camp heading into that we really haven't been talking about significant contract issues. The Cowboys, believe it or not, got things done in the offseason, and more specifically, George Pickens signed that franchise tag, and he will be reporting to camp. By all accounts, he was there, of course, at mandatory minicamp. He told me he doesn't expect any problems. We'll get more to him in a second. But I think one of the other things is these are the type of coaching staff that likes to go back to the board. What did they want to improve on from last year's camp? And Brian Schottenheimer said it was a more intentional training camp. He expects to have the guys doing more work in pads. The staff has adjusted their ramp up and recovery periods to improve conditioning. And so, when you look at Dallas, it's unlike a lot of other teams. A lot of people choose to live in the Dallas area. They're at the facility in the offseason. For the most part, they had everyone in the building during OTAs, with the exception of George Pickens, got him back for mandatory minicamp. So you guys know this. There's typically 2 installs when we talk about the offseason. They had a really good first install, so it seems like they're going to be way ahead this year as they implement this second install and when they get to training camp.
Jane, obviously.
Let me add something here real quick. Nisi, I don't know if you remember, because you've been with me a long time, and some of you others have too. Queen, Bass, others, y'all chime in on this. Y'all been with me a long time. But I don't know if y'all remember some of our Mike McCarthy conversations. And one of the things that I've always said about Mike McCarthy could not be the coach of my football team. I've always said this about Mike McCarthy. But what I would want from Mike McCarthy is to be on the advisory board of my team. I've always said this about Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is very smart when it comes to football. I don't really think he's a good coach. I really don't think he's a good coach. And the reason why I don't think he's a good coach is because of that stale as toast, West Coast offense, doesn't like to run the ball, no variety in his play calling, and he's not a motivator of men. He's not a motivator of men. If Mike McCarthy is the coach of your team, I mean, he has to be a coach of a team that is very, very, very self-motivated and full of talent. Because other than that, he's not going to be able to accomplish much. But the one thing I like about Mike McCarthy is some of the things he said about the importance of having everybody on your football team, everybody signed, free agents, the draft, everybody on your team, training camp, OTAs, going into the preseason. Mike McCarthy stressed vehemently how important this was. Because if you can get everybody there early, and if you can get your team on the same page and get all of your systems installed, everybody gets the systems down, everybody buy into the system, everybody's on the same page, while other teams are scrambling to kind of figure out who they are, what they're doing, and a new coach here, new coach there, new players everywhere. If you can get everything settled by the time you get to training camp and then through training camp into the preseason, he said you can mess around in September and you can go 4-0. He stressed the importance of having everybody in training camp. And that's exactly what they accomplished this season. They accomplished exactly what Mike McCarthy talked about. Exactly. Bass says he took us to 12 wins. No, I don't think he took us to 12 wins. I think Dak Prescott took us to 12 wins. Show me Mike McCarthy without Dak Prescott when he got hurt. Show me Mike McCarthy with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is the reason why Mike McCarthy won 12 games. The same reason why, if you look back over the success of his career, when he was successful, who was the quarterback? Aaron bleeping Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers carried Mike McCarthy on his back. He absolutely did. Carried him on his back. Mike McCarthy knows football. Problem with Mike McCarthy is he's just not a good coach. I want him on my advisory board. I don't want him to be my coach. There is no way with Aaron Rodgers you only win one Super Bowl. You give Bill Belichick Aaron Rodgers in his heyday, I got a strange feeling that Bill Belichick could have at least squeaked out 3. You give a lot of coaches. You give a lot of Andy Reid. Give Andy Reid Aaron Rodgers in his heyday. Andy Reid is squeaking at least 3 Super Bowls out of Aaron bleeping Rodgers. Give Kyle Shanahan Aaron Rodgers in his prime. The young folk here, my sons, they always laugh when I talk about Aaron Rodgers because they're looking at Aaron Rodgers today. They're talking about Aaron Rodgers today. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers before, when he was in his prime. The Saturday White, I'm sorry. You said Dak hasn't made the playoffs since McCarthy left. Can I help you with something? Dak made the playoffs before Mike McCarthy ever stepped foot in Dallas. Dak Prescott went to the playoffs before Mike McCarthy ever stepped foot in Dallas. Dak Prescott did that. And the only reason why Dak Prescott didn't go to the Super Bowl in that rookie year was not Mike McCarthy, it was Aaron Blippin Rodgers. Because even the doggone, some of the players on the team said Mike McCarthy sent the play in and Aaron Rodgers threw that play in the trash. Aaron Rodgers said the play that Mike McCarthy brought in was trash. Drew up a play in the sand, and it took that play to beat the Dallas Cowboys. It took that play. In order for Mike McCarthy to win, I'm telling you the formula. He's got to have a ready-made team. He's got to have a team with a quarterback that is exceptional. Understand, when Mike McCarthy took over the Green Bay Packers, he didn't build that team. He did not build that team. He inherited a great team. He inherited it. He didn't build it. I'll put Mike McCarthy on my advisory squad, but he cannot be my coach. What was the coach? His name slips my mind right now. The coach that won the Super Bowl, and he's got a coaching tree out of this world. What was this guy's name? Green Bay's. What was this guy's name? Was it Mike Holmgren? Let me see if that's his name. A lot of people don't realize, man, Mike McCarthy inherited a great team. He inherited a great team. Yeah, Mike Holmgren. Yeah, he inherited. He inherited a great team. I know a few things about Mike McCarthy. He could never be my coach. I was shocked when Jerry hired him. Niecy said Mike's downfall with Jerry is that he said he lied to get the job. The respect with the front office was out the window. Yeah. And Niecy, we found out after he was no longer in the building. So many insecurities. So many insecurities. Insecure when it came to Dan Quinn. Insecure when it came to Kellen Moore. Lied and got Kellen Moore out the door. Got Amari Cooper out the door. Mike McCarthy, I'm telling you, you got to have him a ready-made team. Because if he don't have a ready-made team, I'm sorry, he's not a team builder. Now, he can be on my advisory staff because he knows football, but he's not a good coach of football, if that makes sense. But I'm saying all of that to say what he said when he was here with the Cowboys. If you can get everybody in camp, it makes a heck of a difference. And I think this is going to be the difference in this Dallas Cowboys football team this year. They're going to hit the ground running. They are going to hit the ground running, barring injury. They're going to hit the ground running in ways I don't think we've seen in a long time. they're going to hit the ground running. And don't be disappointed if the record isn't a 12-win season, even though I think it can be. On paper, we haven't played the season yet, but on paper, this is going to be a gauntlet of a season. It's going to be a gauntlet of a season. We're not only playing playoff teams of the NFC, because I believe that about 5 to 6 of the teams the Cowboys are playing this season, they're going to be in the playoffs. NFC. We're not even talking about the 3 to 4 teams that they're going to be playing in the AFC that are also going to be playoff teams. So it is important, long story short, it is important that this team has done what it has done. James Slater is hitting on something. The major headline for the Cowboys is there is no major headline. And if there was a major headline, it is quiet, boring offseason for the Cowboys. Rather than being malfunctional, they're functioning right. That's really the headline of the Cowboys. And I'm telling you, some people don't know how to act, man. Gregory Davis, Barry Switzer did the same thing when Jimmy left. Yeah. Team was on autopilot pretty much. Freddie, I get what you're saying. You're saying grown men shouldn't have to be motivated by anyone, but I'm going to tell you something where it's not necessarily true. Even the greatest need to be reminded. Even the greatest. And I can apply this to why we worship. Why do we worship every single week? Because people still need to be reminded. They need to be reminded of what Jesus did. They need to be reminded of salvation. They not only need to be reminded, they need to be corrected. They need to be, they need to be encouraged. They need to be corrected, improved, rebuked, you name it. Yeah, we need those things. We need those things. Even people who are great sometimes need to be told that they're great. The Saturday, he said McCarthy did, can't expect McCarthy to get out there. No, I got problems with McCarthy D Saturday. He hated to run the ball, wouldn't run the ball. Offense was as stale as they come. It's not the problems on defense with Mike McCarthy. That man's offense was terrible. And in 2023, what made that offense better? And everybody talked about it. He entrusted Brian Schottenheimer to throw wrinkles into that offense and improve it. And that's what improved that offense in 2023. And there's a reason why when he went back to 2024, he was on a lame duck contract. He said, I'm going to do it like Frank Sinatra. I'm going to do it my way. They were terrible. They were terrible on offense. He reverted back into a pumpkin. He absolutely did. And that's the very reason now when we think about Jimmy Schottenheimer, Brian Schottenheimer's wife, let us in on something. That the Joneses had already decided that even with Mike McCarthy being fired, and even if Brian Schottenheimer had not became the head coach, what was he going to be? The offensive coordinator. That 2023 takeoff after the San Francisco 49er game or either the Arizona Cardinal game was none other than Brian Schottenheimer. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, Mike McCarthy, I like him as a man. I think he has a great football mind. Coaching? No, he couldn't be my coach. He couldn't be my coach.
So we were down there in D-Town. We know all about these cats. Dak Prescott balled out last year, 30 touchdowns, only 10 interceptions, 67% completion percentage, had a heck of a year. What exactly is he focused on trying to improve upon as he goes into the 2026 season?
Well, I love that I've got you here because I want you to stay popped up in this double box for me because this is also going to be a question that I have for you.
Okay.
When I talked to the training staff or a lot of his coaches, I said, where is Dak Prescott still looking to improve in year 11? Obviously, he's talked about the footwork in the offseason, and that's something that he's proud of. When your quarterback is running more from under center, and what have you seen from him when he's running it out of shotgun?
Yeah, so the big difference for Dak Prescott in that system is obviously Schottenheimer and the ability to be able to have the play action. Dak Prescott is probably one of the more efficient play action passers in the game today. So if you threat when he's coming off of play action.
Well, I like to follow you up a little, say what that does defensively.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about this thing about Dak Prescott, and then I'm going to read a couple more comments. Y'all got some great comments in here. Dak Prescott being under center is going to prolong his career. Dak Prescott being under center is going to prolong his career. Not only is it going to prolong his career, it's going to make him more efficient. It's going to make him way more efficient. Bigger plays are coming. A lot, man, let me tell you something. People do not understand, nor do they appreciate the evolution of Rain Dakota Prescott. The evolution of Dak Prescott is something that is going to have to be studied after he's done. Dak Prescott, if you go back and look at him at Ole Miss or Mississippi State, when you go back and look at Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott was a shotgun, what do they call it? He was basically a shotgun and just basically a running quarterback. That's what he was. He was a running quarterback. That's what Dak Prescott was. Dak Prescott basically ran Mississippi State to the #1 team in the nation. I mean, people do not realize how great of a runner Dak Prescott was because it's been so long ago how great of a runner Dak Prescott was before he entered the league and even when he first came into the league. But when Dak got that ankle injury, Dak lost some, and I think what he lost most was the power in that ankle to do some of the things he was doing before. He lost some power to be able to break some of those tackles and you know, some of the things. Dak was doing some incredible things even when he was in the pros. But Dak Prescott, rather than fading into oblivion, Dak Prescott went back, worked, and became a pocket passer. And has been one of the best pocket passers over the last 4 seasons, and really over the last 5 that we have seen in the NFL. Only Patrick Mahomes has been better pretty much. Only Patrick Mahomes. And the difference between Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott is, and I'm not saying that Dak is as good as Patrick Mahomes, but if you go look at the stats, if you go look at the stats, they're incredible. People don't understand what goes into winning a Super Bowl. The difference between Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes, more than talent, tell me who the coaches are. Tell me who Dak Prescott's coaches have been. Tell me who Patrick Mahomes' coach has been. Tell me. Show me the defensive coordinators for the Cowboys versus the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Does anybody not realize that the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs is the coach that handed Tom Brady and Tom Belichick their 2 Super Bowl losses? People don't realize how fortunate Patrick Mahomes is. I mean, he's literally had great coaching his entire life, or his entire NFL career. He's had great coaching. He's had great defenses on the other side of him. This man has had, I mean, people don't understand. People try to boil it down. Oh, Dak is just Dak not good enough. Dak been good enough. Dak in his rookie season should have went to the Super Bowl. Dak in his rookie season should have and could have went to the Super Bowl. But when you look at Dak Prescott, Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, Brian Schottenheimer, Kellen Moore OC, and then you look on the other side of him as far as his defense has went. And we don't have to go to the players. I mean, we can go to the coaches on the other side. I mean, Nolan, Quinn, Zimmer. And we can't forget Matt Eberflus. Dak Prescott in his career, we're talking defensive coordinators. Dak Prescott has been through 4 defensive coordinators, and only one of them was any good in the grand scheme of things. He's been through 4 defensive coordinators. He's been through what? 3 offensive coordinators? And don't get me wrong, Kellen Moore is pretty doggone good. Only thing with Kellen Moore is he just like to put it up because of Dak Prescott, and everybody say, yeah, that's how Kellen Moore likes to coach. I find it to be strange. Kellen Moore hasn't coached like that since who? I find it to be strange that Kellen Moore hasn't coached the way that he coached with the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Yeah. Another testimony to Rain Dakota Prescott. Kellen Moore has not put up the numbers as an OC that he put up with Dak Prescott. He has not put those numbers up since. And everybody said, ooh, when he get to Justin Herbert, boy, if he did that with Dak Prescott, wait until he gets with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's going to put up way better numbers than Dak Prescott. Anybody see them numbers? Yeah, we realized something. It actually wasn't Kellen Moore. It was Dak Prescott. That's how he was putting up those numbers. It was Rain Dakota Prescott. And Kellen Moore is still eating off of the Dak Prescott era. Because when he got with Jalen Hurts, man, he had to throw his entire playbook away. They just basically became a running team. But a lot of people don't realize something, man. We're going to look back on Dak Prescott, and we're going to realize how talented this man is. And for Dak Prescott to now become an under the center quarterback and now saying, and I'm going to get better at it. Shh. Boy, I'm telling Cowboys Nation, they do not realize, some in Cowboys Nation don't realize, we've had a Super Bowl level quarterback. Problem is, y'all ready for this? We have not had a Super Bowl level coaching staff nor team. I'll say it again.
You can't handle the truth.
We have not had a Super Bowl level coaching staff and a Super Bowl level team. We have not had it. A quarterback cannot win a Super Bowl by himself. He cannot win Super Bowls by himself. I got news for us. News flash. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Maybe this is breaking news. Breaking news. Troy Aikman never took the Dallas Cowboys to the playoffs. He never took the Cowboys to the Super Bowl. He went to the playoffs with the Dallas Cowboys, and he went to the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys because they had a Super Bowl level coaching staff and they had a Super Bowl level team.
You can't handle the truth.
Every single time. Every single time. Troy Aikman we never asked Troy Aikman to do what we keep saying we need Dak Prescott to do. We need Dak Prescott to play outside of himself. We need Dak Prescott to elevate the team to another level. Tell me when Troy Aikman did it. Tell me. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm going to wait. When did Troy Aikman ever elevate us to another level? If anything, the team elevated Troy Aikman to another level with a top 5 defense, with the #1 running game in the league, with a Hall of Fame coach in Jimmy Johnson. Compare the coaches of Dak Prescott to Troy Aikman. Compare them. Tell me a coach that Dak Prescott has been with up until Brian Schottenheimer, and we still don't know what that is. Tell me a coach that Dak Prescott has been with that can even sniff Jimmy Johnson. Tell me the coach. Tell me the defensive coordinator during the 90s of Dave Onstad. Tell me the offensive coordinator of North Turner. Tell me the coaches. Tell me the talent that has been coached by those coaches that Dak Prescott has been with, compared to Troy Aikman, compared to Patrick Mahomes, compared to any of these Super Bowl coaches. Please tell me. I'll wait on you, but I won't hold my breath.
You can't handle the truth.
I will not hold my breath. Man, people do not understand. Dak Prescott in year 11, we are finally getting this man the coaching and the team that he needs. And we're not done. We're not done. We still got some ways to go. Let me tell you what we're hoping. We're hoping that Dak Prescott, because he is so talented, if this can just be average, that with Dak, George, CD, and some of the pieces around them still questionable at tackle on offense, we're hoping that Dak Prescott can do, again, exactly what we never asked Troy Aikman to do. We never asked Troy Aikman, hey, Troy, can you get us to the Super Bowl with an average defense? Troy, can you get us there? Troy, can you get us to the Super Bowl with an average defense? Troy, can you do it? We never asked Troy Aikman to do stuff like this. Dak Prescott will have to be studied when his career is over. Because people do not realize we already have a Super Bowl level quarterback. Ability, leadership, cerebral. He is a Super Bowl level quarterback. The problem is he's not had Super Bowl level coaching and Super Bowl level teams, because you can't have a Super Bowl level team without Super Bowl level coaching.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't do it. You can't do it. Shoot, Rock's a fan, not to mention Troy, the Hall of Fame offensive line, and Dak had Chaz Green. I'm telling you, can't do it. Man, we're asking Dak Prescott to do stuff we never asked Troy Aikman to do. Niecy said if Jerry ever hire a GM like Troy Aikman, man, the players we love will get traded. That will be the Herschel Walker trade. Yeah. I tell you what, though, Niecy, I'm glad. I'm going to let Jerry continue to cook, because he's been cooking here lately. He been cooking. Yeah, Gregory Hicks. Man, we've never asked Dak. We never asked Troy. You know why? Because this stuff was already taken care of. The only thing Troy Aikman had to worry about when he was with the Cowboys was being the quarterback. That was it. He didn't have to worry about the talent. That's why I'm not sold on Troy Aikman. Wanting to be a GM. Not sold on it. He wasn't responsible for the talent when Jimmy was here. Nobody was asking him about talent. He had to see what talent was. And just because you see what talent is don't mean you can go pick talent. Yeah, New Beginnings, he said, gee, he's had it at least 3 times in his career. I agree with this at this point in his career. Yeah, and even then, even when he's had some players, the issue is, and I keep saying this, he's never had the teams. Because in order to have good teams, you got to have that coaching. I think some of the things Dak Prescott has accomplished, it's been in spite of. It's been in spite of. Blaine said, I wish he had Jason Witten. That's our weakness on the offense, like Ferguson. But he's not 82. Dak needs that security blanket. Yeah, we hoping that Michael Trigg going to be it. Yeah, we hoping Mike Trigg going to be it. Yeah, there will be blood. Dak Prescott's a total package. Yeah, he is. He is. There's no doubt about it. Dak Prescott is a Super Bowl level quarterback who hasn't had a Super Bowl level team. Because every time you tell me about a quarterback who's won a Super Bowl, I'm going to go to the coaches, I'm going to go to the team, I'm going to go to the scheme, and I'm going to show you every single time. Dak Prescott is better than Jalen Hurts. Why in the world would Jalen Hurts why would Jalen Hurts have been to 2 Super Bowls and won one of them and Dak Prescott hasn't? I got news for you. Because Howie Roseman is a way better GM than our beloved Jerry Jones. Yep, I said it.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. Howie Roseman for the last 5 seasons could have absolutely been the GM of the year every single time. Could you imagine if Dak Prescott and Howie Roseman was his general manager? Howie Roseman did it not once, but the second time he achieved it. He built an absolute super team around Jalen Hurts. Absolute super team. Nobody will tell you that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback now. They were running around lying, not giving Howie Roseman and that team around him credit. But Howie Roseman put a heck of a team around Jalen Hurts. And this has been the failure of Jerry Jones for how many years? Even when Jerry put some teams together, because he has put some good talent together, to where I do believe that there was probably about 2 or 3 opportunities in there that the Cowboys should have went to at least the NFC Championship game and maybe even a Super Bowl. But even those teams were skittish because there was always something about those teams. You were kind of like, they can do it, but it's really going to require Herculean effort, and somebody's going to have to do this and somebody's going to do that. I mean, even in the year of the Dez called it, we still left a lot of time on the clock in 2014. And Aaron Rodgers with a hurt calf was still running the Green Bay Packers up and down the field on us. We still don't know if we'd have won that game. I think we would have had a better chance at winning that game. Still don't know if we would have won it. They were killing that defense. This season has been one of the best jobs I've seen Jerry Jones do. And it may go down as the best job we've seen Jerry Jones do, not only in the Dak Prescott era, but in the Tony Romo era. This may be Jerry Jones' best team he's put together. And I'm talking top to bottom, front office to the ball boy and ball girls. This may be his best team. This may be his best team. And this is why I'm so happy and so excited for Dak Prescott, because Brian Schottenheimer is going to extend Dak Prescott's career, putting him under center. This is how you stop linemen from teeing off on your quarterback. Even if your tackles may be a little bit shaky. Linemen can't tee off when you're running play action. They can't tee off when you're running the ball. They can't do those things. And so this is going to really help Dak Prescott prolong his career.
When you have a quarterback under center and there's a really good run game that the Dallas Cowboys that had last year, that brings those safeties up. And you saw in that highlight that bomb to CeeDee Lamb, the bomb to George Pickens. That's where that comes in, right? So when you have Prescott under center, defensively, now I have to be able to respect the run game. Now, you did mention, Jane, that everybody was at the facility a lot in the offseason, except for one guy, George Pickens. Now, we know George Pickens will play under the franchise tag in 2026 for the Dallas Cowboys. But what do they have in store for him coming up this season?
Well, I hope this is a freezing cold take. I know the guys love to monitor what we're saying here in the offseason. But, you know, I've said that my experience with George Pickens has been very different than, say, what Pittsburgh media had to deal with, or maybe some of the headlines that we had coming out of there. You know, he talked to us this offseason, said the reason why he wasn't there in the OTAs was simply put, his agent told him not to. His agent told him, get there when you have to be. As his agent explained to me, he goes, Jane, if you don't have to work on Saturdays, do you show up to work? And I said, not necessarily. So, you know, I get where they're coming from on that, but it doesn't seem like he is interested in being a headache for this team. You know, I even pulled him off the side. I said, look, fool me once, Don't fool me twice. We had Micah Parsons show up to camp after he was going through some of his issues with his contract, and then all of a sudden he had a back issue. Do you see any lingering injuries that might pop up? And he said, absolutely not. He is ready to be there. In fact, if you're concerned about what his conditioning looked like, he worked out with the guys this offseason.
See, let me tell you something that Jane Slater is talking about with George Pickens. And I think this is something that people are missing. I've been kind of, from a distance, I've been kind of monitoring some of the things that, some of Cowboys Nation talks about. And I've seen that people have been kind of talking about this thing between Michael Parsons and Terrence Parsons, talking about Rashawn Gary, and then Okoye Media coming back and really bringing a lot of proof about Michael Parsons. But I still say people let me just say people can have any argument that they want to. But the thing that Okoye Media pointed out that people are not really gravitating toward, and I think it's the greatest point because I emphasize this point, and James Slater just emphasized the point. Michael Parsons came to Oxnard, California too, and he started acting a fool, right? He started acting a fool. Meanwhile, she's saying, hey, George, are you going to get to Oxnard, California and do the same thing that that Michael Parsons did? And the reason why he's not going to do it, and this is why I believe that George Pickens is going to break the bank, whether it be here or somewhere else. The difference between Michael Parsons and George Pickens right now, y'all ready for this? Character.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, character. That's the difference. That's what Okoye Media pointed out about Parsons. I don't think any of us are going to debate that Michael Parsons was a great pass rusher and is, well, we're going to see what he looks like. We'll have to wait and see what he looks like after the injury. But he is a great pass rusher until we see otherwise. Absolutely great pass rusher. It's not that he can't stop the run, but he's easier to scheme against the run, if that makes sense. He's easier to scheme against. He's an undersized edge rusher who is basically a linebacker rushing the quarterback. He's an undersized edge rusher. And people point out how many double teams he got and all of these different things. And people sometimes look at those stats. That's why I say, man, we got to be careful with stats, because I'm always blown away when people start calling people making fun of people about stats. And then we started using stats to try to prove certain points. But I want us to understand something about Parsons and why Parsons may have gotten double teamed more and chipped more and all of these different things. It's simple. Let's use common sense here. We don't have to go to all the football acumen. It's simple. Can anybody tell me what other player on the Dallas Cowboys team that you actually had to stop? Somebody tell me that player. Tell me the player in the Michael Parsons era. Somebody tell me the other defensive player that somebody had to stop. You didn't have to stop Oso Odighizuwa because Oso Odighizuwa actually played off of Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons didn't play off of Oso Odighizuwa. Teams made it their business to stop Michael Parsons. And they say, okay, we can deal with Oso Odighizuwa. We can deal with him. We'll single him. We'll figure out something. Parsons was the only player on the Cowboys team that you had to look out for. Now, go look at all these other pass rushers. People may not realize it. Cleveland don't have a trash defense.
You can't handle the truth.
They don't have a trash defense. Cleveland's defense has not been their biggest problem. There's a reason why Myles Garrett was racking up those sacks, because they had other people alongside Myles Garrett that could play also. See, when you got to worry about more people, you got to scheme for more people. You got to do things for more people. But when you play the Dallas Cowboys, how many times did we see teams do this to the Dallas Cowboys? Stop Micah Parsons. That's it. You doggone right if I played the Dallas Cowboys back in, what was it, 2024. You doggone right if I played the Cowboys in 2023, 2024. Man, my game plan is simple. Wherever Micah Parsons is, line a tight end up on that side. Wherever Micah Parsons is, line the running back up on that side. Let him stay back there, or let him run out for a pass. Let him chip Micah Parsons. Tight end, chip Micah Parsons. Tight end, double team Micah Parsons. Why would I say this? Because there's nobody else on the Dallas Cowboys team I have to worry about. Tell me who that player is. I'll wait, but I won't hold my breath. Tell me who the player is. The way a team schemes against you, it is dependent not upon the player, but upon the players. And if you only got one player on defense that is worth double teaming, well, I'm going to do it the whole game. Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Of course I'm going to do it the whole game. He's the only player I have to worry about. This has been the problem with the Dallas Cowboys defense, and this is what they're trying to solve. When Micah Parsons was here, every team that schemed for the Cowboys said, stop Micah Parsons, you stop the Cowboys defense. Over. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. What other player did any team have to worry about other than Micah Parsons? What other player? I can remember Micah Parsons complaining. What was the year? 2024. Micah Parsons was complaining after the New Orleans Saints came to Dallas and mollywopped us. Man, we had what is that doggone quarterback name? Man, we had the quarterback doing Michael Jackson in the end zone. Quarterback was doing he was doing Michael Jackson in the end zone on us in 2024. I can remember Micah Parsons in the press conference saying, there has to be somebody else on the team that can make plays other than me. Why was he saying that? DeMarcus Lawrence couldn't rush nobody passer when he was with the Cowboys. He couldn't. It's amazing how when he gets with players that can rush the passer and those doggone defensive tackles that the Seattle Seahawks had, and he didn't have to be the man. He was just an accessory. Played a lot better. But when Micah Parsons was here, he was the defense. So why wouldn't I double team him more? I'm telling you, this is what Jerry was talking about. Teams schemed against the Cowboys when they had Micah Parsons because he was the only player they had. That's it. Name me another player on defense they had to worry about. Name me the linebacker, because we can't say DeMarion Overshown. DeMarion Overshown was hurt half the time when Michael was here. Who was the other player? I'm telling us context matters. And this is why when we're talking about stats, we don't throw them away because they are a part of the story. But we combine those with everything that we see, and we combine those with everything we know. When Micah Parsons was here, somebody's got to tell me, who was the other player? Who was the other player? Country Field. And you think about it, and I'm talking about on the defensive line. And even when you think about Diggs, they were playing off of Micah Parsons in that pass rush or Micah Parsons in that pressure. Micah Parsons in that pressure, man, it was bursting pipes. It was making quarterbacks hurry up and throw the ball. And Diggs and Bland, who after Diggs and Bland, they were eating. But, Once things started kind of going sour, we saw where Bland and Diggs were no longer eating, especially after those injuries. But I'm saying all of that to say this. Jane Slater just said something here that's very, very powerful. The reason why George Pickens isn't going to do what Michael Parsons did is character. It's the bottom line. It's character. That was the biggest thing that Okoye Media pointed out about Michael Parsons. Character issues. Even the fact of his brother out here talking bad about Rashawn Gary. That's a character issue. Because I'm telling you right now, if that was my brother, maybe y'all different than me. Maybe y'all are different than me. I'm just telling you, if that was my brother, I'm telling him to shut his mouth. You're not the one playing this game. And I don't need you talking about other players in this league. And especially a player that used to be on this team. No, I don't care what anyone says. I guarantee you, if Michael Parsons wanted Terrence Parsons to shut up, he would shut up. He would. He absolutely would. He would shut up. It's a character issue. It's a character issue because nobody in my family could be talking about players on a team or ex-players. They couldn't be talking like that because I would straight up tell them, nah, you're not going to be able to do that. How much money could you actually be making on YouTube? Stop it, bro. I could pay you the YouTube salary. Stop it. Stop the madness. You ain't got no million subscribers on YouTube. You ain't even got 100,000. Shut that whole nonsense down. Shut it down. Talking about character issues. And a lot of people don't realize that some of the Cowboys' problems in the past also have been, guess what? Character issues.
You can't handle the truth.
Team destroyers when you have character issues, man. It's character issues. And this is why George isn't going to do that. Because George is showing everyone his character and why he deserves that contract that we all believe he deserves and he's going to get. Character is the difference.
He said that he was in their houses, and he said the reason why it was easy for him to show up to camp was because when you're in the homes of these guys and you know how bad they want it, and these guys are locked in, he said you can't help but not be a part of that. And if there's any indication of that, I mean, it was the first day of practice. He didn't compete in the team drills. It was the individuals. But Dak had a really nice go ball for him, and I tell you, he had a toe tap catch right there along the sidelines and did a little shimmy after. When I asked him about that, he says, just glad to be back. So that gives you an idea of his mindset. He truly is excited to come to Oxnard, and he's letting this whole business aspect of the deal take care of itself as the season goes on.
Yeah, do you know what she just said? Do y'all realize what James Slater just said in a nutshell? Character. George Pickens is showing his character. Character is not just what you say. Character is what you do. Not when times are good. When times are good, times are bad, times are in between. Your character is what shines through. What did I tell y'all the other day? Character will take you places that talent won't take you. Every single time. Every single time. Freddie said, I tell my brother, cut it out or I'll cut you out of my will. Freddie, you better say it. Oh, I know how to make him be quiet. And I think that's one of the greatest points. He don't want him to be quiet because Michael loves being attached to the Dallas Cowboys. He loves being attached to any drama with the Dallas Cowboys. There will be blood. He said, prime example, G. CD Mama chilled out after her outburst on his contract. You haven't heard from his mama since. Yep. Yes, sir. Yep. Frank Lawrence said Jerry alluded that Parsons can't stay on the field. Character issues. Parsons laying on the table, faking a back injury. Man, that's a character issue. Yeah. Bazzy9 said character issues eating rotten culture in the room. No dice. Yeah, man. Ooh, Niecy, you just said something. Niecy said, the Parsons brothers are trying to be the Kelsey brothers on YouTube, but the personalities are wrong.
You can't handle the truth.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. See, everybody, you know, and not everybody, but some people are arguing about the talent of Micah Parsons. I'm sorry, but the talent of Micah Parsons is not in question. Even the Green Bay Packers knew that Micah Parsons was not just great at stopping the run. No, they got him to knock down quarterbacks. That's what they got Micah Parsons for. There's no shame in that. Green Bay already had run stoppers. They got Micah Parsons to knock the brains out of quarterbacks. Hey, I'm not hating on that. I'm not hating on that. But the issue that we are talking about here is character. That's what we're talking about. That's really the discussion. It's character. And not, you know, and if we start going into the X's and O's more, let's look at the business. It's not Micah Parsons' contract that I was concerned with. When I look at what the Dallas Cowboys are at the defensive tackle situation, when you tell me they got Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark, somebody's got to tell me, how are you going to get those players with Micah Parsons? Because who on the Dallas Cowboys would have been worth those trades? The Micah Parsons trade, I think, is the longer it goes, we're just going to continue to realize it just made sense. Doesn't diminish that Micah Parsons is a great pass rusher. Doesn't diminish those things. I just think it was better for the team, better for the locker room. It's all working out. And in the grand scheme of things, it worked out for Micah Parsons. He got the money that he wanted. So there it is. So at the end of the day, what we're talking about with George Pickens, and not only George Pickens, what we are talking about with the Dallas Cowboys is character. And that's what she's talking about. It's character. I can appreciate that about George Pickens. George Pickens just saved this team a whole lot of headache, a whole lot of questions, a whole lot of undue attention. George Pickens killed all that noise with one word: character. Every single time. Character matters, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, man, Jane, I don't know. George Pickens not a problem? I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Now, I didn't know Seth Rollins was a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I can't wait to tell my son about this. Didn't know Seth Rollins was a diehard Cowboys fan.
He's gonna break the mold.
Yeah, but we're staying offense, all right? We're staying offense all day here, so let's talk about it. This Cowboys offense is one of the most potent offenses in the league last season. What areas do they still need to improve on? What kind of identity are they going to have for the upcoming season?
Well, red zone execution is really an area they've got to focus on. It's
Yes.
gotten better from in years past, but Clayton Adams, their new OC, has really talked about also going back to that board. What do they need to focus on? And he said for him, it really is an issue of, look, they had a lot of self-inflicted wounds, especially when they got in that red zone. He said they need to use a better
Don't forget penalties.
job of using the full width of the field. When there's only 5 or 6 yards of vertical space to work with, he said, you got to work on more of that.
Okay, somebody said he was a Dallas Cowboy fan, Jacob Jackson.
Year playing inside less than 10% of the time, but the reason, congratulations, but Javonte Williams in the run game, we saw him come along, and so they think by moving him around, keeping CD on the outside, but not really knowing where Pickens is going to be, they think that that could really be a chess piece for them on offense. So bottom line is they've got some wrinkles up their sleeve, and it seems like they're excited and they're ready to go. And more importantly, I think going up against this defense is going to make everyone smarter. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit more in the next hour.
Yeah.
Yes, that is going to be the biggest issue for the Cowboys that I think people are underestimating. The offense will be better simply because we're now going to be going up against a modern day defense that's going to look like a lot of the other teams that we are going to be playing, especially in the playoffs. All right. Okay. I thought somebody said Rollins was a Cowboys fan. Yeah, I thought somebody said Rollins was a Cowboys fan. All right. Let's get one more topic in. Let's continue to talk about this Cowboys defense. Let's talk about this Cowboys defense. And one of the things that was talked about, I saw an article, and they were talking about how the Cowboys can turn their defense around. Hold on a second. Miss Matrix is in the building. What up, Miss Matrix? Said I just played NFL visual trivia, and I put LT down when they showed Khalil Mack. But don't worry, I told them I learned everything I know from Let's Talk. I see you. What's up, Miss Matrix? Good to see you. What up? What up, Gabe? Hey, let me tell you something. DeMarcus Lawrence was a person that I think DeMarcus Lawrence couldn't handle a lot of the things that were going on around the Dallas Cowboys. He just didn't have the mental fortitude to do it. He just couldn't handle a lot of it. Bottom line, he just couldn't handle it. And that's why he's so much better over there in Seattle. Number one, because the culture is better than it was when he was here. And number two, and most importantly, they're not asking him to be the man. Yeah, they're not asking him to be the man. And that's the biggest thing. They're not asking him to be the man. We just need you to come over here and do your part. And so whenever you get players doing that, it all works out a lot better. All right. So they gave some pointers on how the Cowboys could have a better defense. Let's check this out. And of course, everybody's talking about Christian Parker. This article is over here on Yahoo Sports. How can the Dallas Cowboys turn their defense around? Written by Zeke Sanders. Says newly hired Cowboys defense coordinator Christian Parker is entering this season with some of the highest expectations of any team that missed the playoffs last season. Why is that? It's because Parker and the changes he is making to the Cowboys defense. You build it around players, Parker said, of a defensive structure. Of course, you want to have your core principles and foundational beliefs, but as you kind of move forward in the process, what do your guys do well? Last season, the Cowboys posted one of the worst statistical defensive finishes in franchise history under ex-defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. While they didn't have the most complete roster, they can only go up from here. You're right. Why Matt Eberflus failed? Some might say Eberflus was the real problem, not the players. Eberflus put the Cowboys defense in a box by running a strict 4-3 cover 3 scheme with little to no flexibility. The position a player was listed on the roster was the position he played 100% of the time. As a result, versatile players like DeMarion Overshown and Donovan Wilson, who have the ability to play multiple positions, spent the 2025 season being underutilized. I will agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Matt Eberflus was very rigid in how he called his defense. Says since then, never, didn't want to run any disguises, didn't want to do any blitzes, didn't want to do any of those things. Says since then, Dallas has completely overhauled its defense and defensive coaching staff, with the most important addition being Parker. Don't forget BT Jordan. He plans to move away from the Cowboys' traditional 4-3 defense to a far more versatile 3-4 scheme. Says the biggest difference between the two formations is the number of down linemen and linebackers. The 3-4 uses 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers, 2 inside and 2 outside. The 4-3 uses 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers, the Will, Mike, and the Sam. But how does a simple formation change make a difference that much better? Says 3-4 defense is known for its versatility, allowing defenses to send multiple linebackers as pass rushers while also being able to drop them into coverage by disguising coverage and blitzes. Third-year linebacker Maurice Leofau is a perfect example. Leofau is a hard-hitting linebacker with a knack for making plays. Now, this is going to be one of the biggest changes for the Cowboys. A lot of people keep wondering how are the Dallas Cowboys going to achieve a pass rush. I think the pass rush is going to come from the system. And that they are going to get sacks not only from guys like Rashawn Gary. They're also going to get sacks from people like, I believe that Donovan Ezaraku will have more than 2 sacks this season if he's healthy. I think we're going to see sacks from multiple players, including defensive backs. They are going to do a lot of different things. And so I believe they're going to be able to manufacture some sacks, especially when, they got Jayshon Barham. I'm looking forward to Malachi Lawrence hitting the field. I think there's going to be some great things happening there, so we are going to see. So, again, it says after making the switch from middle linebacker to outside linebacker, he has become exactly the kind of player Dallas can move around in different packages. We're going to see about this with Maurice Leofau. This makes it difficult for opposing offenses to know whether he's rushing the quarterback or dropping into coverage. Looks like they got a couple of plays here. Maurice Leofau. And looks like they sent Maurice Leofau there from the edge. Let's watch that one more time. Yep. Yeah, and I'll tell you something. I've already said this about Maurice Leofau. I truly believe Maurice Leofau. I believe Maurice Leofau could play a nickelback for the Cowboys. I really do. I think he could convert to safety like Darren Woodson did. I really do. He's got to kind of build for it. It says key players to the new look defense. Since Dallas has officially all the pieces of the puzzle put together, a strong defense once again. The Cowboys invested heavily in free agency by signing versatile safety Jalen Thompson, who can play deep in coverage while also stepping into the box to help stop the run. I still say Jalen Thompson is probably going to be one of the best players we got from free agency. He's the favorite player that we got for me. Says they also have 3 quality cornerbacks capable of playing both on the outside and in the slot with DeRon Bland, Savon Revel Jr., free agent Kobe Durant, and I'm excited about him. Adds more depth in the secondary, giving Dallas another quick ball-hawking cornerback. The biggest improvements, however, came in the front 7. The Cowboys are getting green dot linebacker Overshown back from injury after he proved he can do it all at the position. They also traded for San Francisco 49er linebacker D. Winters, who has worked with the first-team defense throughout OTAs and minicamp. Says along with strengthening the linebacker corps, Dallas added even more firepower to the defensive line by trading for the run-stopping edge rusher Rashawn Gary. Entering his 8th NFL season, Gary has proven time and time again that he can be a productive veteran, also mentoring young edge rushers like Donovan Ezaraku, who showed flashes of his potential last season. This is Donovan Ezaraku, he played really, really good at the run. Yeah, Easy played really, really good in the run game. And really rushed the passer well, all things considered. And now we find out he kind of played with a bad hip, I think, there towards the end. And so, kind of looking at this, I think there are, when we talk about the Cowboys defense, when you look at the thumbnail that I had up just a second ago, there are really 3 players that I'm concerned with. 3 players I'm concerned with. I'm concerned about Demarion Overshown. Not that he can't play. And don't let me say concerned. These are the 3 question marks. Let me make these into question marks. 3 question marks for the Cowboys. Demarion Overshown stays healthy the entire season. If Demarion Overshown stays healthy the whole season, the Cowboys defense is going to be incredible. If he can stay healthy the whole season, book it. The Cowboys defense is going to be incredible. And Demarion Overshown will be in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year if he stays healthy the whole season. Second player that there's a question mark by, Rashawn Gary. And we're going to talk more about him probably on tomorrow's show if I don't do Cowboys After Dark tonight. But when you think about Rashawn Gary is getting so much mistreatment. You think about what Terrence Parsons is out there doing and other people. And everybody keeps talking about what he isn't. Let me tell you something. Nobody knows what he is in this system. For every time I hear somebody say, let's wait and see it on the field. Yeah, when we talk about the Cowboys doing well. Anybody notice that part?
You can't handle the truth.
Whenever we're talking about the Cowboys doing well, everybody says we got to see it on the field. But whenever we talk about the Cowboys doing bad, we don't have to see it on the field. We don't have to see Rashawn Gary with the Dallas Cowboys on the field, according to people who don't like Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary had 7 sacks within the first 8 games. And then when they started going down with injuries, that's when his sack total decreased. Had they not started getting injured, Rashawn Gary might have had a double-digit sack season. But everybody, nobody wants to look at the context of what happened with the Green Bay Packers. But I think people are just underestimating what will Rashawn Gary be on this defense, in this system, with the Dallas Cowboys, with Quentin Williams, with the guys that we have on this team. I think people are underestimating how good this guy is going to be able to be on this team if everything goes well. Rashawn Gary is one of the biggest questions that people have because everybody's wondering, is he going to play well? Now, the third one, and my biggest concern for the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll get more into this either tonight or tomorrow, and what could hold this defense back maybe is DaRon Bland. Will DaRon Bland be healthy this year? DaRon Bland has been having foot problems, and I'm telling you, man, when you start having these foot issues, that can totally derail your career. Will he get that issue with his feet right? His foot right? He's got a screw in his foot, and it seems like the screw keeps coming loose or something. So what's going to happen? I mean, those to me are the 3 biggest question marks on the Dallas Cowboys defense. Overshown, because he's going to be our Mike linebacker. He's going to be our middle linebacker. Can he stay healthy the whole season? Rashawn Gary. And I don't question Rashawn Gary as much as the question mark. I just want to see what he looks like in this system and with this defense because I think he's going to look good. But the biggest question mark for me is DaRon Bland at cornerback. Kobe Durant is probably going to wind up being one of the starting cornerbacks for the Cowboys. Savon Revel Jr., I think he's going to get a lot of time because Durant will probably move to the slot and Bland will play on the outside or vice versa. So I think that Kobe Durant's going to get plenty of time with the Cowboys. But I'm hoping that Darion Kendrick pushes this cornerback room to get some playing time. And I'm definitely hoping that Devin Moore pushes this cornerback room and gets some playing time. But again, man, these are the questions that they have about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the questions I have about the Dallas Cowboys, those are the 3 biggest questions I have. And again, I think a lot of people are underestimating Rashawn Gary. It says Cowboys rookies should make an impact. And I do believe Caleb Downs is going to make an impact. Barham's going to make an impact. Malachi Lawrence. These rookies are going to play. Devin Moore, y'all book it. He's playing. Hey, I'm telling you, LT Overton playing. This is not going to be like last year's draft. We got players. I'm telling y'all they're going to be playing. At least 5 of these draft picks the Cowboys got this year are going to be playing. Absolutely. Says Cowboys rookies should make an impact. Says while the Cowboys added proven veterans throughout the offseason who can contribute immediately, they also invested in their future through the draft. Dallas rookie class has the potential to make an immediate impact, especially on the defensive side of the ball, with the Cowboys spent nearly every draft pick on. Almost all of the Dallas rookies are projected to contribute right away. First-round pick standout Caleb Downs. There's no doubt. There's no doubt he's going to play. Downs is an elite do-it-all safety who possesses outstanding coverage skills, footwork, and the ability to play downhill, making him one of the best safety prospects seen in years. That reputation has already fallen to Dallas as defense coordinator Parkhurst calls Downs as advertised, a natural football player doing training camp. And I don't think this is actually a play here. I don't think this is from this year. Somebody said it was, but I don't think it is. Again, the Cowboys didn't stop there. Who did I tell you? Malachi Lawrence. He's going to play. A raw but athletic edge rusher. He's going to play. People are totally underestimating this kid, discounting that he's even going to play and contribute to the pass rush. Followed that by drafting Jayshawn Barham. He's going to play. He's going to contribute. Devin Moore. What did I tell you? Devin Moore is going to play. LT Overton. He's going to play. We got I'm telling you, we got defensive players. They're going to contribute. It says by combining experienced veterans, key contributors returning from injury, and a promising rookie class, the Cowboys defense now has talent and they have depth. If rookies develop as expected and the unit stays healthy, the Cowboys will once again have one of the NFL's top offenses. Yes! Yes, I love it. I love it. I believe this is how this Dallas Cowboys defense is going to improve. It's going to improve. Y'all can book it. Book it. This defense is going to be better. The question is not, is it going to be better? The question is going to be how much better. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Man, I got 4 more topics to go. If I don't get to these tonight, I'm going to get to these tomorrow. I'm going to try my best to get to these tonight. I know Cowboys Nation, we starving. We starving. We need something to hold us over until the real meal come in the regular season, and I'm here for it. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. We just looked at the Cowboys offense and defense. I believe they are both going to be cooking this season. I do. Justin Harris said, watch Blair get 10 pick sixes this year. Ooh-wee. I hope he do. I hope he returns to form. I hope he does. Brandon Cup, what up? He said Dallas let Michael run around like a rover. No other team is giving him that. He actually has to play his position, and that equals injury. Yeah, he was a little small to be an edge rusher, and that's why teams were able to work on him. Miss Matrix said, G, quit playing. You say that didn't be straight in the bed. Boy, you ain't lying, Miss Matrix. I be trying hard, Miss Matrix. I be trying hard. I was trying last night. Sandman was throwing sand right in my eyes last night, Miss Matrix. I was trying hard. I'm gonna try hard again tonight, Miss Matrix. If God is willing, I will be on Let's Talk Cowboys. I will be on Cowboys After Dark. So, okay, Miss Matrix, tell me this. If I be on Cowboys After Dark, are you gonna be here tonight? If I'm on Cowboys After Dark, will you be here tonight? I'm gonna try to make it my business to be on tonight. Poopa D said he would get to read and react to play off the ball. Peace, Poopa D. Appreciate you, Nisi. All right, guys, I gotta go get ready. Somebody gotta teach this Bible, so I guess it'll be me. I appreciate y'all rocking with me until tonight, or either tomorrow, or until the next time. DC4L, God bless. Best chat on YouTube. Let's Talk Cowboys and We Talk Facts. Peace.